I forgot to press play, to press record. Well, I wasn't even speaking. I was just drinking coffee. I was like, I feel much better today. Yesterday, I didn't feel like doing anything. And in fact, I did quite a bit. Well, not yesterday, 2 days ago, I felt like that. But it persisted. It didn't persist, but I'm trying to get towards the truth. It's very important. I'm moving my hands like Jordan Peterson once again, conjuring the Peterson. So, I'm not a big fan. He's okay, but not really. So, it persisted for about 2 days, that feeling that I didn't want to do anything. Not really feeling that I didn't want to. In the morning, let's say. In the morning, I felt as if I didn't sleep enough. Today, I feel like I slept quite a bit. I slept quite nicely, even though I didn't actually sleep that much. I think I only slept like 7 hours in the last, well, 7 hours per night in the last 4 or 5 days. It's weird to wake up this early. And I also kind of get tired sooner at night. Of course, it's obvious. But I kind of don't appreciate that because I still start to work quite late, even though this is considered work as well. So, yeah, I'm gonna take my phone and two other phones and make a video about how to um, color grade different phone footage. So that's gonna be very nice to see what kind of footage can you take and can you make with just your phone. Well, it's gonna be a lie because I'm gonna use the light. The light really helps. Like that helps you get the best footage out of any camera you have because it's diffused, it's nice light, and it's very intense and very color accurate. So lights are the cheat code of um, cameras. And as opposed to cameras, a light like this is about $200. It's not like $1,000 camera, so you can really make nice colors and beautiful light with a camera with a light like this, and it's dimmable, so you can create and work with the camera you have. I feel like that is the most important thing. And the second most important thing is the microphone. This one right here. Because if you don't have good audio, no one's gonna watch your videos. Your videos. So I was thinking just now how I worked on being, for most of my life, I worked on being less abrasive because I knew this about myself. I knew that I had an abrasive personality and people didn't really like me. And I'm not as nice in real life. I tell things I shouldn't tell. Even here, I start rambling on and then I get into my ideas and yeah. But I've worked like all my life to be less and less and less abrasive so that I don't piss people off because I was pissing people off quite a bit when I was younger. And it still continued. Like my teenage years have not really gone away, that teenage phase where I'm annoying. and abrasive, and um, that's just because no one tells me what the fuck to do. So I don't feel that I have someone like I have no authority in my life. So I don't feel constrained, so I don't act that role in my life. And whenever I do, I kind of challenge it. So rebellious, rebellious, but it's important to realize that I've since I've started this channel and these channels, I started to realize that abrasiveness is not that bad. Like, because what it what's actually signaling to the other person is like, I'm having higher standards for you than you have for yourself in this moment. Like now, when I was a teenager, I was abrasive just to be abrasive. I was a smart ass little shithead. So now, yes, you can have these moments where you're holding people accountable and you are having a like, ever since I've made that video where I talk about the fact that I need to be more abrasive, I've done it and I've become a bit more abrasive, only because it's not because I wanted to become more abrasive. So I didn't really make a plan on how to do it and whatever. Usually that's how I do things. I sit around for half an hour thinking about how I'm gonna be doing things if I really want to change something in my life. And you would be amazed at the results that you can take with a plan that takes 30 minutes. I know it sounds, depending on how you think, either too long or too short. But if you want your life to change, take at least 30 minutes to plan out solutions and solve your problems, then come up with ideas that can help you get to where you want or change the situation you are in. So I was saying about how I didn't make a plan to be abrasive. I didn't just sit around, and I became more abrasive because I didn't have. Where is it? Where is it? I started to have less and less time for other people's BS. So I didn't have any more resources to like, in this case, time. And I needed clarity. I needed clarity in order to convey my boundaries. Like, I was noticing that some of my friends were treating me as if I was doing nothing all day. Because in the past, that's what I was doing. That's how I met most of my friends. Because I was doing nothing, so I was meeting a lot of people, so, well, yeah, you get the point. But then I started to see that I was getting into these conversations that we used to have, and usually it's more to do with like things they want to do, like people, because I like to have projects and do things, and even though sometimes I take long breaks, um, people tend to talk with me about the things that they want to do because I'm an active person. I like to do things. I don't like to sit around. I do like to sit around and talk about things as well, but for like, when I was younger, I told myself, like, if you talk as much as you talk, you should do. So, because then you're just going to be a nothing's gonna happen if you just talk. Well, you can make things happen by talking. That's the fun part, but That's why it's so addicting, because you can literally just talk your way into anything. And that's super crazy to think about it. Using language and persuasive language to get yourself into situations that you didn't even think they were possible. But that's a topic for another day. Today is about boundaries and the fact that I didn't have time to tell them, like, to get into those conversations and to get, because I was noticing their patterns, and I was like, stop. No. Like, I cannot do this because I didn't have time. I had to make courses, I have to meditate, I have to film videos, I have to edit, I have to do so many things every day. So I was like, look, if you really want to do this, this is my advice. Do it like this, and you will get this. And I was like, and they were like, la 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 blah 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 blah. And some of them started doing it. And I was like, that's weird. Like, most of the times I spend so much time, like, not arguing with them, but debating and trying to convince them. And now I was like super blunt about their behavior. Like, look, this is your pattern. You do whatever you want. In the last 6 times you wanted to do something, you've abandoned it. You bought a lot of shit just to make it seem like you are serious about it, to convince yourself that you are serious, but you took no action. You only bought stuff. So stop buying stuff and do the actions, and then buy stuff if you actually prove that you can do the actions and you can stick to the actions. Those are the things that, those are the principles that matter, not the gear, not the material, not the camera, not the, I have the title, not the camera. So that's super important. Like, and in those conversations I was like super abrasive, more abrasive than usual, and I got what I wanted. And I was like, huh, why did I want to get rid of abrasiveness? Why did I want to get rid of being a bit of a rooster? Why? Like, and ever since then, I was like watching social media at night, and I was like, these guys are assholes. I was watching even the news, for instance, or even just guys talking about cameras, and I was like, did you listen to what he said? Like, that's not a nice person. Like, if you really try to judge and compare yourself to other people, to those, I was comparing myself and how I am on camera, because now I have a lot of footage. I was like, these guys are assholes. And I was an asshole before, and now I worked for like, how much time? 14 years when I decided to be less abrasive. More than 14 years. I was in high school, second year of high school. Well, more. 18. Yeah, 14 years. I'm old. 14 years of trying to be less abrasive. And now I figure out that that abrasiveness, if I used it correctly to convey my ideas, the abrasiveness actually helps me quite a bit, because it makes me like more charismatic, and not only that, but it makes me seem more sincere. Because whenever you seem like an asshole, people tend to assume like it's because you can back up your claims and you know what you're talking about, so you're kind of bored and you kind of like, whatever. So you're really, so it's kind of a cheat code, but that's how I was using it. And I was like, very, like, I don't know how to say it, arrogant, a bit arrogant when I was a teenager. And I was thinking I was super smart. I had such a great opinion of myself. I really had a great opinion of myself, and the world was actually. That's so funny. I was thinking like that was the part that was so funny. Like the I was outshining everyone around me, and I was thinking it was because I was special and smart. And in fact, I think it was because I was abrasive. And all of these abrasive behaviors and all of these bad behaviors that I was doing increased the potential because there was drama there, because I wasn't taking advantage of that potential. So even though I was actually taking advantage of that potential. So I was the very few ones who actually took advantage of my potential, whatever that means. But I kind of made my own way through the world. So instead of taking the easy routes. So the fact that I was abrasive was, even though there were people in my class that were, and then that stopped right when I started to go to university, because I was thinking it was because I was seeming more. It was because I was getting older and people were not viewing me as a kid, but started to view me more like an adult. So no more, oh, he's so smart and such a waste. And in fact, it was just because I was being nice and playing by the rules and dressing nice and trying to put this facade on top of the fact that I was gifted. So I think that's the point. Like, even now, I'm trying to seem like a person who's nice and non abrasive instead of a loser with potential. Even though I am, in fact, now it's more true than ever that I'm a loser with potential. So I'm really, and honestly, I'm really being very honest with myself. Like, as opposed to the things that I want and the things that I want to build with my life, I'm really a loser with potential. I know that there are like alternative worlds where I can say that I've I've done so much more. I don't believe in, but I can imagine those things. And just because I was a lazy loser, I didn't, and I'm still kind of a lazy loser. So I use this word to excuse a lot of my things, like, oh, I have principles, that's why I'm not doing that and not doing that, and that's why I don't have so much money, because I refuse to give up my principles and do this thing. So, and it's just an excuse. It's really just an excuse, because the principles of it all, they don't, like, if you say that you are not able to lose your principles in order to do something, to get something, to be more rich, more successful, whatever, um, it also makes that thing that you want seem as if it's bad, because you're like, oh, in order to, your mind does not know that there are ways to get there even without sacrificing. Because if you tell it, oh, to get that I need to sacrifice these principles, and my self-image, my self-worth, myself whatever, and I don't want to do that, so that's why I'm not getting the success. When you tell that to your mind, if you let it there, if you say that, just that, your mind interprets, to get success I need to lose these things. So it views that as bad. But you need to finish that sentence. You need to finish the sentence and say, but there are other ways that I can get to the same results that don't involve getting rid of my principles. So let's first define what the principles are and what are the things that we can do in order to get success. Like, for instance, you could be doing, I don't know, could be lying to get success. There are a lot of people who have built a career around lies. And one of your idea, one of your principles is not to lie. I'm starting to sound like Jordan Peterson. So, if that is one of your principles, not not being deceptive, then it's going to be very, let's say, hard to get to success if you don't sit down and see, first of all, what it means to be deceptive, and second of all, to find things and ways to really get success without even needing to sacrifice your truthful nature. And yeah, you will also learn that your principles are definable. And once you define them, it's much easier to work around them and not step into over your own boundaries. I think it's very important, because ever since to make a full circle, ever since I started to have less excuses for myself and started to have more boundaries around my time and the things that I wanted to do, I started to be more productive, of course, but also it extended. Those boundaries extended to other people, and that momentum that I had, that momentum that I built, started to extend. Like, people around me are starting to want to do things. Like, weird. It's like a network effect. Like, people around me want to do close to the same thing or their own thing, their own version of the thing. So that's super weird, man. To think that all I had to do before, when I wanted to make people and help people do the same things and help them get to these skills and this way of life, a more free, and I don't know, all I had to do was do that thing more and more and more and more until people would notice that, oh, he's doing that, because look, he has this undeniable proof he's doing that. Like, I sent, I've taught a friend of mine to make courses, and they stopped. After a year and a half, they stopped. So recently, I sent a photo of all of the courses, like 18 courses, 18 painting courses, just stacked on top of each other. You couldn't even see what the paintings were, but just that picture of 18 18 canvases over each other, and that's just filmed work. They were like, okay, Jesus. And now I have 20, so 18, 22. How is that? No, it was 17 courses, and now it's 22, 21, and I have to make two more, two more, two more. Ah, it sounds like tumor. So today I got a whiteboard and I got my first client as for a training session with their dog. It was amazing. It was a very long day, but I feel very energized. Unfortunately, I did not film any courses today. I didn't have time. I went to take the whiteboard. I met with this person to train their dog, and I made a few videos. What else did I do? That's just about it. And I met with another friend in the morning. So I went to the coffee festival once again to drink some nice coffee. And that was nice as well. So I feel super, super energized. I want to edit and go to sleep because I also feel tired at the same time. But yeah, I got such great feedback on the whiteboard video that I did today. It was very short, 7 minutes or 8 minutes video talking about why smart people don't have an action bias. So that was super interesting. And that was a nice video. And I want to really focus on making more whiteboard videos and also tutorials because I'm getting a lot more feedback, a lot more great feedback on those, and also views and things. And I feel very happy because my speaking level is at the point where I can make them with no editing whatsoever as these videos. And people seem to appreciate when I teach them something. So they also like to click on the videos. So that's super nice. I got 76 views on one of the videos, and a few comments being like, this was super helpful, or even feedback like, you should do this or that, or this or that. And one of the feedback was that I mentioned that you can color grade phone footage to look amazing. And the idea is that the person actually wanted to see some color graded phone footage. That's all for me for today. Thank you for watching and see you tomorrow.